Belarus needs some good information. The last video was more for America, but this 7 days of rigged election riots. America doesn't protest. We've had rigged elections since the beginning. But on helping Belarus, the Lithuanian Foreign Minister Lithuania says that not helping Belarus just isn't an option. So Lithuania feels an obligation to help their neighbor, and Svetlana is actually in Lithuania right now. I was just wondering though, where is Antifa when you need them? Where is Antifa when you need them? When it came to the Nazis in 1930s Germany, the damn communists didn't do shit. The socialists didn't do shit. They're like, oh, I'm a little liberal. It was Antifa that said, fuck these fascists. You gotta nip a fascist, bully, violent piece of shit. You gotta nip that in the bud. You see a violent psycho being a violent psycho, you gotta nip it in the bud. That's Antifa. We used to be anti-fascist in World War II. That's when we were the good guys. One of the few wars where America, not like Vietnam, we're killing a bunch of peasants and we're just, taking over nations just because we're an empire, but actually saving people and doing good for not just Germany, but for the entire world, for France and Britain, for all the victims of Germany, and for Germany itself, frankly. So where is Antifa when you need them? We need to be great again. America needs to be great again. I know Donald made us great already, but we need to be greater than where Donald has made us, to the level that he's... America needs to invade and intervene in Belarus. We need to, I'm anti-war. Except for wars of revolution. This is a war for revolution, and Belarus tried in 2006 to have a revolution against Alexander Lukashenko. Oh my God, Lukadusha. So, Lukadusha, right? Lukadusha he already beat a revolution in 2006. 14 years ago, and now Belarus is on some, Belarus is awake. Belarus, they got consciousness. They've awakened. You can't move a sleeping people. Now, they just woke up, so, they're not exactly organized. They've had a strong social safety net for a while, but we need to get in there, or the United Nations. We need to get fair elections. We need to get Svetlana back in power. Svetlana is the president. Svetlana is the one that the people of Belarus had voted for. And Lukashenko, not only did he lose that election, but he's a cheating, fascist, low-life, dictating piece of shit. He should have been gone, 26 years he's been in there, so he should have been gone 18 years ago. He should have been gone in 2002. But apparently, dictators could just get their claws in on. So when it comes to American intervention, we could actually be the good guys for once. We could be the good guys for once. And Russia's talking about getting in there. Russia kind of already has one hand up there, as a puppet, right? So they already got, most Belarusians already speak Russian anyway. So Russia and Belarus, they got common history, common tongue, probably common religion, some other shit. I mean, they're Christian. The Americans, the U.S. stayed loyal to her imperial, overbearing, oppressive mother, England, for the very same reasons. They were the British redcoats, and fuck them redcoats, and our independence and revolution is all about, but we're still best friends with, Mother England. We're still going around gallivanting and imperializing the world, so America needs to be great again. We can do something good for the world, and this would be a great day, great time to redeem ourselves, and you're totally redeemed yourself, right? But this video isn't for America like the last one. This video is for Belarus. Right now, Belarus is having trouble accessing information. And so this is the truth, as I see it, from what I've read. Just picked, random articles from Google News and some mainstream stuff, some videos, also the comments of the videos. So Belarus needs help getting good information. They're shutting the internet down. It's a massive crackdown. Massive violent crackdown, and so I just want the Belarusians who can speak English, or who can understand English, to at least know what the hell is going on, so far from what I understand. And from what I understand, this all seems truthful enough. So, in the very beginning of all this, they were sitting there talking about how Svetlana had a video, and she said that she accepted the results, and she said, don't protest. Not one life is worth giving up. She needs to denounce that video and come out strong against it. I feel like she already has because she's made contradicting statements so far. But that video was coerced. She was arrested for 9 hours. You got to sit right here, and you got to listen to our questions and this and that, and if you want your friends, they had 9 of her friends in jail. If you want to get your friends out of jail, you're going to have to do this video, you're going to have to sign the statement, and then you're going to have to walk with us to the airport, and then you got to get the fuck up out of our country, right? Kick the damn president. She's elected president, and Belarus kicked the president out on day number 1. So, on helping Belarus, helping is not not helping is not an option. So, Lithuania isn't just going to stay to the side and just observe what's happening. Lithuania said that Belarus's cops are doing too much. It's unnecessary. Lithuania is going to do whatever it takes to help out Belarus, including accepting Belarusian refugees. Lithuania says we believe not just in a stable neighborhood, but a progressive one, a progressive Belarus. So Belarusians, if things are too tough, head off to Lithuania. Lithuania is where your leader is. Lithuania is being a good neighbor. So the their government, their people, their society, they kind of got shit together better than what Belarus has. Lithuania also says all the options are on the table, meaning possible military intervention. When America says it means possible nuclear war, but Lithuania don't have any nukes, but they're willing for, to intervene militarily. Lithuania is mulling over, whether or not to accept the Belarusian refugees, but they should. They said they're going to do whatever it takes. Well, then accept the damn refugees. So Svetlana, she's safe and sound in Lithuania. She is reunited with her 2 kids. Everybody's safe and sound. She was in prison for 9 hours by Luka Brazi's Belarus Nazi soldiers. They coerced her, they blackmailed her, then they exiled her to Lithuania. So you cannot tell me, America, you cannot tell me, Belarus, Lukashenko, you cannot tell me that she left, on her own accord. She protested it, she opposes it, she's still a symbol, and she needs to stay alive. So this is just, absolutely unfathomable in American politics. Imagine if Donald Trump did that, right? He locked up Hillary and then shipped her off to Africa. Maybe that's not really good. What if Hillary locked Donald up and shipped him to Africa? Okay, that's actually okay, too. So maybe John McCain was arrested. No, if Mitt Romney. Maybe if Baby Bush arrested John Kerry. Maybe if Bill Clinton arrested Papa Bush. Okay, I'm not helping my case here, okay? So America has a lot of shitty candidates. But that's a sign of corruption, is it not? When you have a race, when you have a boxing match, when you have, you're playing your friend in a Monopoly game, you don't arrest them and then falsely imprison them and make them sign a false statement saying that, they actually lost when they won and then exile them to the next town over. Do you do that? That's not good, right? It's not fair, right? Everybody. So then Luka Dusha needs to step down, and Svetlana needs to step up. And actually, Svetlana, I have no leadership, when it comes to America. I don't have any really. Svetlana, she's my president. Svetlana, she should issue a call to arms to Americans, to the world. Just say, all the liberators and lovers of justice, it's time to stand up and fight. Belarusians are petitioning Elon Musk company SpaceX to test its Starlink satellite system. Starlink is a constellation of 500 satellites promising internet from anywhere on the Earth. Beta testing happening for Starlink soon. It's a low-cost internet service to be utilized by most everybody, especially in rural and remote areas. This is exactly what Belarus needs. They need to figure it out on their own, but they got, Elon Musk has got 500 satellites. Why are we giving Elon Musk so much power? But the internet is actually up in Belarus. I've heard, mixed things, but it's been shut down. It's been 7 days of riots. there's centralized infrastructure of the internet in Belarus right now, also the same for India, Pakistan, and Turkey. And those nations turn off the nation's internet for whatever reason they feel like. So Starlink would be great for revolution here in America too, because they could shut our internet down. I don't know how decentralized our internet is, but having satellite internet, having the other alternative of satellite is using neighboring countries' custom design with both Wi-Fi and mobile cellular service, so you could, kind of have Wi-Fi and cell phones and sort of, create your own hotspots. But you got to have, a cellular service to do that. You got to have the right equipment. You got to have satellite, to do the satellite thing. So that would be great for revolution. You would keep your internet no matter what, unless, of course, Elon Musk decides to shut it off, one day, because he was wrong when it came to Bolivia. Elon Musk, I used to look up to you, man. That dumb shit you said about Bolivia, that was stupid. That was so stupid. He's helping, he's offered Belarus, they're petitioning for him to do this internet thing. And he seems to be in solidarity with Belarus, so that's good. He's, evolved, or he seems to give a shit about, but maybe they don't have any lithium that he could steal. But he seems to be, wanting to help him, probably just wants to make money, shit. So, that really did. That Bolivia thing, we'll coup whoever we want, that's fucking bullshit, Elon Musk. But pay attention, America, because all this could very well happen here. Tor, T-O-R, it's a privacy browser, and Siphon, P-S-I-P-H-O-N, a Canadian proxy. They've seen a surge of activity on their sites because Belarusians are using alternative methods to finding information. Svetlana says that she wants the international community to rise up and fight the rigged, stuff, ballot, bullshit elections. She said it should begin by creating a council in Belarus to ensure the transfer of power. So they're going to have a transition team. She urged her supporters to continue the peaceful protest and to sign an online petition demanding a recount of the presidential election because she believes she was cheated out of a victory. So whatever she said on that coerced video, ignore all of that. That's what people were repeating, right? Svetlana goes to Lithuania, I won the election, but I'm going to give it up. Yeah, right. They twisted her arm, and then she's even said, it turns out I'm a weak woman. I'm a weak woman. They made her say that she was a weak woman. And it's mostly women out on the streets in Belarus right now. Not only do you have lots of protesters and demonstrators, but you have lots of workers who are striking over Luka Blasi's blatant rigged election stealing. You had 6,000 arrests in Belarus, nearly 60 journalists. One guy's hand was shot through, widespread torture. One guy was murdered. They killed a guy. That's first blood. They've already murdered a man. Luka Blasi has blood on his hands. There's all these demonstrations and protests, but you actually got the workers who are getting pissed now, too. There's strikes that are happening all over Belarus. Strikes are happening by the metro system in the city of Minsk. The oil refinery, Naftan workers are on strike. The potash producer, Boruskali, they're on strike. The workers are on strike. The workers are putting pressure on these oligarchs and CEOs and capitalists. Trolley bus drivers in Minsk are on strike. The workers at the sugar factory in Zhabinka have gone on strike. Engineers at the Minsk tractor factory have gone on strike. There's 200 workers at the Belcard metalworking plant in western city of Hradna. They presented a petition to the capitalist owners to get them to tell the authorities to stop with the violence. So some are striking and some are putting a ton of pressure on their bosses to put pressure on the government to, knock it the fuck off, right? Like Hillary Clinton told those banks, hey, y'all just stop it, you. Belcard is a large car component company, so these are major companies in Belarus. Employees at Azot chemical plant in Hradna have circulated a similar letter. Bel-Az produces heavy industrial vehicles. There's a strike there, too. And the discussion, the idea behind it is, why do we need wages if we're getting beat up and killed in the streets? We're being tortured and raped and murdered. So why do we need wages if we're just going to get, a terrible country and a terrible society, a criminalized, just gangster land, where everybody just a warlord, right? Just a bunch of warlords. And you know, right now with the COVID and everybody staying home, wouldn't a general strike like be easy as fuck for America? Wouldn't we like fix everything in a heartbeat? Where is the AFL-CIO at? Actually, where have the unions ever been at? Anyways, Luca Brasi is a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit for well-known reasons. He's been in power 26 or 755 years. He's been in power, for centuries. And he got 127% of the electorate to vote for him on election day. So when they say, give 110%, some people say that you can't do that. But not Luca Brasi, not the president of, not the dictator, fascist Führer of Belarus. He's got 127% of the electorate to vote for him. He didn't give 110%, he gave 127%. He says that he's the only person on the planet that could lead Belarus to prosperity. And he's packing his jails full of Belarusian, providing housing for them, so he's just... Jesus fucking Christ, Luca Brasi is fucking terrible, and Svetlana is wonderful. Luca Brasi is a blizzard, avalanche, tornado, hurricane that'll just destroy the world. Svetlana is sunshine and prosperity and springtime and summertime all wrapped up into one. Luca Brasi is worse than Genghis Khan and worse than Mao and worse than King Leopold. Now I gotta maybe put it in American speak. Luca Brasi is worse than Jafar. Luca Brasi is worse than Ursula. Luca Brasi is worse than Cruella de Vil, Luca Dusha. So this just in, Luca Brasi is claimed to have already won the American election too, and this time he's won by 4,567% of the vote. So my God, Donald, just sit down. Luca Brasi's going to take your chair, right? Just sit down, Donald. Shit. Luca Brasi already won our election. He already, that's all you got to do is claim it, right? Like that Juan Guaido Venezuela bullshit. The jails are full. There's torture and abuse happening in the jails. In fact, the torture begins with the arrest, and then it carries on to the jail until they get released. So order, I say. Svetlana put in jail. Husband was put in jail. Campaign managers put in jail. She had 9 friends put in jail. I mean, Watergate, with Nixon, he's going to get impeached with Watergate. But Watergate wasn't a kidnapping or a false imprisonment of George McGovern. No labor rights in Belarus. Are there any here in America? We don't even get freedom of speech. I just saw a cop in Tennessee sitting there saying, hey, don't use that kind of language. Or what? You're going to be violent, you fascist fuck? We have freedom of speech in this country. That's our first freedom. You didn't realize that? If you're not even protecting our first freedom, which is the law, you're not a lawful person. And are you protecting any of our other goddamn freedoms? I saw a video where 100 people were asked who they voted for in Belarus. And there was a few hands that raised, a couple bootlickers that said Luca. But nearly the whole crowd, almost unanimously, everybody voted for Svetlana. Svetlana, she had spent her summers in rural Ireland as a Chernobyl child sent to the country for respite. Had a strong grasp of English. She was one of thousands of kids. Russia already has one-hand puppeteering Belarus, and since the European Union and NATO and U.S. are committed to liberty, freedom, democracy, at least on paper, and Russia is okay with the nation not having democracy, there's only one side to be on. Let's be like Antifa during World War II again and fuck up some Nazis and save the country and the world. Let's be great, America. Let's be great again. Can we be great? Maybe for the first time, let's, be the good guys for once. Svetlana is telling city mayors to organize peaceful protests and for everybody to go out and sign a petition demanding a recount. So Belarus, go sign that damn petition. Sign that petition. Svetlana says you need to sign a petition to demand a recount and to make sure that you are nonviolent. The protests have to be peaceful. A Belarusian woman, the conditions are terrible. It's not just, someone, but a Belarusian woman named Olesya, she's arrested on the streets of Belarus while she was walking with her boyfriend, right? Just a random one. While she's in prison, she's forced to strip naked. Alongside other forced stripped naked women, searched in full view of everybody. Olesya was then put into a small cell with 17 other women, packing them all in like sardines. All the jails are full. and everybody in there was given one water bottle, no food. They were forced to sleep on the floor. Sometimes they would cut off their water. They totally refused any kind of medical assistance, and this Olesha was in there for 14 hours, walking on the street next to her boyfriend. Why didn't she get arrested? They can hold him up for 3 days, and they don't have to charge or tell anybody where or why they went ahead and locked him up. And then they made Olesha sign a piece of paper that she committed a bunch of trumped-up charges she didn't commit, and to never come back to the protest or be on the streets for any, non-permitted assembly ever again. So this is what they do in Belarus. They force Svetlana to say a bunch of shit. They forced Olesha that, to say this and do that. You want to get out of jail, then you got to sign this piece of paper. That's corruption. That's terrible. And then Olesha said that men are being treated worse. They're being shoved into little tiny cells, smaller cells, and some men have to crawl into the room and then just stand on their knees. Outside the jails, the painful cries can be heard of the torture and the violence and the abuse. People yelling back, "Hey, you fascists, stop hurting people." Belarusians walk out of the jail with broken legs and broken arms, beaten, tortured. Start with the rest. Never end until they're released. 6,700, at least 6,000, no, nearly 7,000, with one person killed. That's first blood. They arrested 9 of Svetlana's people. 9 of her people, so she should have been nervous that they're coming for her. She went up to the damn, people to their faces, "Hey, I won this thing," and then they didn't know what to do with her, and they're like, "Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get you to do this video and get to, go to Lithuania." Now, there is some hope. Some cops are showing signs of stopping their violence. They are refusing to follow illegal criminal orders. Well, the cops of Belarus, those are mothers, and those are sons and daughters and cousins. Don't you have anybody that you know and love and care about? Those are your people, and they are illegal criminal orders. Only listen to Svetlana. She's the president of Belarus. She's my president, but she's the lawful, legitimate president of Belarus. You see how this dictator, tyrannical piece of shit is acting. Luka Brasi's got to step down. This is David versus Goliath. This is a powerful Hitler versus a stay-at-home mom. A stay-at-home mom. She won in 80 polling places, says the Honest People Election Monitoring Group. Svetlana is urging her supporters to be peaceful and nonviolent, extended the possibility of talks with Luka Brasi, and that initiative was pushed for by the Swiss. 9 nations in the European Union approve of sanctions against Belarus. Thousands of mostly female protesters are clutching white flowers and balloons line the streets of Minsk. Wall of Moms. It started in Portland, the Wall of Moms, and has moved to Belarus. Those white ribbons, a white flag with a red line drawn in the middle, are showing up all over Belarusians' windows to their homes. One chain of protesters was 2 miles long. Belarus has to win over the police and the military. Belarusians have to wrest the police and the military away from Luka Brasi's control. Belarus needs to maintain their massive peaceful demonstrations. Shut the towns down. The strikes need to continue. Shut the city. Shut the commerce. Force the government to their knees. Cut off the government's internet. Cut off their water supply. Take pictures of the cops and the military men doing the violence. Get their names. Start a database so that Belarus will always remember which side they were on during the revolution of 2020. During the revolution, during the time of the springtime of Belarus. Belarus needs an effective vanguard party to get the political outcomes desired. Luka Brasi's got to step down, and Svetlana, the president, has to take her rightful seat. And then she's the head of the government, then go along with your constitution or, have brand new elections like she said she was going to do. Also, for the Belarusian Vanguard Party, they need to have police or military fighting men with them in order to arrest Luka Brasi and his men and throw them out of the country by force if necessary. You're going to throw our president, you're going to sell our, Svetlana down, you're going to throw her out of our country? She's a Belarusian through and through, and she wants a good nation. Luka Brasi, you get the fuck out of here. You ain't no Belarusian. You don't know what Belarus is about. You ain't shit. Belarus Belarus, it would be best if you did this by yourself. If you want total, full freedom and democracy for Belarus, it would be better if you did this yourself. It may take revolutionary armies around the world to help them out. Luka Brasi didn't take Svetlana serious, so therefore he never had her arrested on bullshit, trumped-up charges by his police, military, obedient goons. For Luka Brasi, Svetlana was just a stupid little girl. He says, what? We're going to put this stupid little girl on, the chair of the presidency, the head of the executive branch, the head of government? We're going to make her the head of government? Yes! Yes! Belarus, put that 37-year-old Svetlana, stay-at-home mother, on the chair of the presidency. Svetlana is the leader of Belarus, not a bunch of fascist authoritarian bullies. Don't look to the U.S. for guidance, though, Belarus. You need ranked choice voting. We need ranked choice voting. We all need ranked choice voting. But here in America, we don't have democracy. We give our power away on election day, and everybody's a bunch of dickheads about it, like, you better give up your power. But we have power now, before the election. Why would I give up my power now before the election when I'm not happy? And then once I give up my power, somehow I'll get there? No, that's not how power works. In America, nearly half of Americans don't vote. Worse, in Kentucky, it's like 3/4 don't vote. And only 535 members of the Electoral College vote for our president. Nobody's vote in America matters. Only those 535 members of the Electoral College matter. That's it. Also, we Americans, we don't protest rigged elections. In 2000 and 2016, the candidate with the most votes didn't win. We don't believe in democracy. We didn't riot. We didn't change things. We didn't have a revolutionary overthrow for the good guys, for democracy, for majority win. Hell, the Electoral College has rigged every election in America since 1789. And look what we did with our Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is popular. He had millions going to his rallies. But is he the president? No. No, for some reason. He got fucked over, so we're not going to get a progressive America. We haven't had a chance at a progressive America since LBJ. And without ranked choice voting, we don't have a fair system for independent candidates. The duopoly has had a stranglehold on American government since its inception. So I would advise Belarus to look at all the revolutions that have been successful all around the world. I think you should call your revolution the Rainbow Revolution. You're welcome, Belarus, the Rainbow Revolution. But look at the 1988 Indonesian democracy riots. They were successful. They kicked out the president. Look at all the different revolutions out there. Look at the color revolutions. Look at, this could be Belarus's White Rose Revolution, but I prefer Rainbow Revolution. But Czechoslovakia, the Velvet Revolution of 1989 with Václav Havel. Look at 2005, Lebanon's Cedar Revolution. Lebanon just made their entire government resign because of that explosion in Beirut. Ukraine, they had an Orange Revolution in 2004, the 2009 Grape Revolution in Moldova, a.k.a. the Twitter Revolution. Georgia had a Rose Revolution in 2003, the Arab Spring. We had one success, Tunisia, the Jasmine Revolution, 2010. You had the Lotus Revolution with Egypt in 2011, and it's mixed. Mubarak stepped down, but then the military took over, so you can learn that, right? Don't trust the military. 2011 Pearl Revolution. The Pearl Revolution of Bahrain. 2011 Coffee Revolution in Yemen. 2011 Jasmine Revolution in China. 2011 Snow Revolution in Russia. 2016 Colorful Revolution of Macedonia. 2018 Velvet Revolution of Armenia's. Kyrgyzstan had 2005 Tulip Revolution, 2010 the Melon Revolution in Kyrgyzstan. Kuwait had a Blue Revolution, 2005. Yugoslavia had a Bulldozer Revolution in 2000. 1986, there was a People Power Yellow Revolution in the Philippines. 1998, the Coconut Revolution in Papua New Guinea. Purple Revolution in Iraq in 2005. The Jeans Revolution in Belarus. Wait, in 2006? No, that one failed. So, look at these revolutions, and the ones that were successful, those are the ones you can learn the most from. But Belarus, you already had a revolution that failed. That was just a rebellion. That was just an uprising. And what happens when you're successful? The rebellion, the uprising, then becomes a revolution. Until you win, it's not a revolution. You've got to win the revolution, or it's going to be, just fucking tyranny. But also know that you tried it once and you lost. And what happened? Luca Brasi stayed